Hi everyone, welcome to the girls. We're back. We're via Zoom. I am outside on my deck. I did a survey, girls, and everyone's like, you know what, keep it casual, go outside. I'll try to keep my sunglasses off, but I am definitely a sunglass person. And anyone from Pennsylvania, we're just ready for the nice weather, some vitamin D, right?
Absolutely. Warm weather, sunshine makes everybody feel so much better.
Yeah, I've been seeing people in shorts and flip-flops already, so we are very anxious. I know we pushed the limit. We're stepping over the snowbanks with the flip-flops. But yeah, it feels good to get the toes out. Now we just have to get the pedicure.
What are you guys doing for you? I have spring fever. I even wore like a little spring top. I'm ready for spring.
Yeah, it's that time for spring cleaning. Clean out the closet, out with the old, in with the new.
Oh, I like it. Did you change your wreath yet on your front door?
No, not yet. That's coming soon.
That's coming. Okay. Well, with the spring cleaning, that's a good point to make, because I know for me, I cleaned out my shower. I was like, okay, I'm only going to use two things, a shampoo and a conditioner. And now I don't know how your showers look, but I have like 16 different products now that I'm back to using. And I said, it's time to clean out. Every season I like to clean out. So you're right. It's time to look through our closets, look through everything, and kind of unload.
Yep. It's that time.
I sort of spring clean all year long, because with clothing, if I have a rule that if something comes in, something has to go out. So if two new things come in, two old things have to go out. And you're talking about hair products. I have this new thing. I don't know if you could see how shiny my hair is today. Does it look shiny? It looks super shiny?
You look shiny, but I didn't know if that was your camera, your Zoom filter.
It's my new stuff. It's called, if I could read it, it's Aquage, Aquage, and it's a shine spray. And it really takes down like all those little ends that are sticking up. And then look at how shiny my hair is. It's like really, really shining here. So I'm ready to let the sun shine on me with my spray Aquage. And I'm not, promoting any product, that I look through so many different ones, and that would just seem like, I guess I'm not that adventurous. I don't know.
No, your hair doesn't change like with season. In the winter, my hair is so brittle and I feel like it's crunchy. So I use more conditioner. And then in the spring, there's the humidity. So I use different products in my hair. And now I'm addicted to, I guess it's Lange or Lang. I'm addicted to their products. I know I ordered you, Mom, the hair dryer, the roller. Laura, I don't know if you use their products, but now now I have the cream for the hair dryer, the curling iron. That's also a straightener. So that's my kick right now. But we have a great guest coming up. And Lori, this is a young woman that is near and dear to your heart.
Absolutely. We have Kayla Penzone with us today, and Kayla really is just an inspiring young woman. And I absolutely adore this young woman, her just belief and motivation. And it's just amazing. When you get to meet her, I think you'll all love her as much as I do. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with Kayla. Welcome back to the girls, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm excited today because we have a guest who is very near and dear to my heart. She's a true inspiration to me and to others that are around her. Today, we have Kayla Pinzone with us. And I've known Kayla for several years now. She came to us as a very quiet young woman who walked into our summer camp. Kayla, as you will find through our show today, is visually impaired. So Kayla, welcome to the girls.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Hi, Kayla.
Hi, Kayla.
So Kayla, you were 14 years old when you were diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa.
Yes.
So just for a brief second before we start, I want our viewers to do a little exercise with me. And Janine and Deb, I want you to do this too. Okay. So retinitis pigmentosa, most people wonder, well, what is it? It's hard to say sometimes. And Kayla knows all too well all the ins and outs of the disease. But Kayla has very little peripheral vision, which is our side vision. So okay. I want you both to do this, and our viewers at home, want you to make like a little binocular kind of thing around your fingers, put them to your eyes, and kind of close it up, not all the way, but a little bit. That's the type of vision that Kayla has. So you can't see anything out of the side of your eyes. And central vision, Kayla's got central vision, which is a blessing that she has that. But peripheral vision, there's nothing there, Kayla, right?
Exactly.
All right.
Yes.
So
Can you
Kayla,
tell us a little bit before you start, Lori? And because I know, being in charge of the Blind Association, what all this terminology means. What actually is RP?
actually, Kayla will be able to tell you that better than I will, because Kayla lives with it every day. And Kayla could tell you more about it than I probably ever have known about it. So Kayla, you could tell us all about it.
Yeah. So retinitis pigmentosa is a degenerative eye formation. Depends on the way you look at it. So basically, my eyes will eventually lose all vision. It just starts from your peripherals and works its way in. So right now it has been stable for me. So it's just kind of lingering at this point. But pretty much it's just, I always say it's like you're looking through binoculars. When you look through binoculars, you don't see anything else. You have to move your head around the entire time to look. And that's what I've done pretty much all of my life before I was diagnosed, because I never really knew, not everyone looks like this. They don't see like this. So in like layman's term, it's basically look through binoculars, and that's pretty much how almost any person with retinitis pigmentosa will see if they have central vision.
So Kayla, how old were you when you were diagnosed with this, and how was it diagnosed?
So I was 14. I remember I went to go visit my mom at work. She works in our town, and we were walking home together, and I had walked into a parking meter in broad daylight, and she yelled at me to get off my phone. I didn't even have my phone on me at the time. So she looks at me, she goes, either something visually is wrong here or something else is going on. Like, we need to figure this out. So we went to the eye doctor the next day, and they're like, well, there's something wrong. I can't diagnose it. Here, go to this specialist. So we went to another specialist, and that's where they diagnosed that I've had it basically since birth. And it's just been kind of developing in its own way, because it's different for every single person on the way that it develops. Because I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more about him later, but my brother also has it as well. So he only got tested because I got tested, and his is not as bad as mine. So he has less than 15 to 20% of his peripheral vision. So he has more peripheral vision than what I have.
Kayla, is this something that's hereditary?
It is, yes. But surprisingly enough, I have a sister, and she does not have any of the eye disease at all. Nothing of that. So yes, it is hereditary. That's also a thing I probably should have said earlier. But yeah, it really just took me walking into a parking meter to just be like, something doesn't add up.
Yeah. So from the time that you were diagnosed with RP, what went through your mind at 14, and how did you overcome some of those obstacles as a young teenager?
So at 14, I definitely would not think would be where I am right now, but a lot of it was just, I already adapted a lot in my life because I wasn't aware of it. I didn't know. So I really just kind of kept doing what I was doing. And then my teachers throughout high school basically started adapting to me, like what I needed. So really it was just enlarged font on a piece of paper, or having PowerPoints handed to me before class or emailed to me before class, and just having technology really become more part of my life, because in my technology, I can manipulate it to the way I need it, but it might not be exactly the same for someone else and the way they might use it. So really, I just took a love for technology and always learning new programs and new things and easier ways to do things. And 9 times out of 10, I'd end up showing people in my family, like, here's the easiest way to do this, even though it has nothing to do with the visual impairment side of things. Like, it's just, here's technology and here's the best way to use it and make it work in your favor. So technology is a huge thing. It's a huge thing today for me as well. But really, I didn't change much from 14 at that time when they told me that I was diagnosed, because I had already been doing so much from a young age. So it's kind of a little bit of adapting, but also just kind of figuring out what works best.
And how did you meet Lori? How did you end up at the Blind Association?
So I had started getting involved in different programs at school. So I had started cane training at school and Braille, learning Braille throughout my school. And either my mom or someone learned about the summer camp at through Services for Sight in Wilkes-Barre, and they had Lori partners with them for their summer camp. So my mom kind of shipped me down here because I'm from Carbondale, so it's like a 45-minute drive. She'd send me down here once a day, and then I'd go to camp, and I met Lori on the first day. I remember vividly, like I was so nervous, like I was so quiet. I didn't know anyone. I didn't know what to do. It was just so new. And Lori's just bubbly in there and like making sure everyone feels included and just felt more welcome. So I really met Lori through summer camp. And since then, it's been a wild ride that we've kind of been on and been a part of.
So I will say, and Lori, just to piggyback what Kayla was saying, that the first time I, helped you out, with those who have disabilities, it was something, because I kind of froze up because it's not my forte, but to see someone who's so comfortable working with them. And I know Lori's motto is like, you never use your disability. Like you can still do things even though you might have a disability, because clearly we all have a disability in some way, shape, or form.
All right. You're absolutely right, Janine. And, for me, and certainly this show isn't about me, it's about Kayla, but there's one thing in life besides my family that I absolutely love, and that's my job. Being able to work with kids like Kayla, it's amazing. And that's why she said she's so inspiring. All of the kids that I get to work with, as well as my adults, they leave such a special place in your heart because I learned so much from these individuals that help me to be a better person and to help have more patience. And you're absolutely right. Kayla's big motto really is, don't let that disability hold you back. And we'll talk about that a little bit more later. But, as a 14-year-old, having, Janine, you have teenagers too. I think about our own kids and helping them to just get through some of the daily struggles that teenagers have. And to meet with these kids and to meet with Kayla, and through conversation and different programs, and to see how involved Kayla is, because Kayla has never let her visual impairment hold her back from anything that she does. And one day we were sitting on the bus we were doing a transportation program. And I was telling another one of our participants about this camp at Leader Dog, which is out in Michigan. And it's people who go there, like adults who go there, are able to get seeing eye dogs. And there's a huge qualification process for that. They don't just give these dogs out. And I mentioned this camp that was going on to another student. Kayla's like, well, wait, I might have interest in that. So Kayla gets all the information. She comes back to camp a couple of days later. And she's like, I'm going to Michigan. And I said to her, oh my gosh. And Kayla, what was the one thing I said to you?
You told me not to tell my mother where I got the information from.
Yes, because her mother said to me, oh, she's getting on a plane. She's going to Michigan all by herself. I was like, she can never know. Don't tell her.
And the cat's out of the bag now, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yes.
It certainly is.
Well, we're going to take a short break, but when we come back, let's talk about how you've excelled in life, in your, in your academics, and what you want to do after college. So when we come back, again, we're talking with Kayla Penzone here on The Girls. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to The Girls. We've been sharing some exciting information, and we have a super, super fabulous guest on with us today. We have Kayla Penzone, and she is visually impaired. She has a condition called Retinitis Pigmentosa, which means she sees binocular vision, like a tunnel vision, right, Kayla?
Yes.
And you've been doing some amazing things. Lori shared with us through Community Services for Sight how you got involved with that organization. So share with us some more things that you do up at King's College as a student there.
Yeah, so I'm actually graduating this December with Kane. He's here with me. He's kind of just there. Oh, there you go, buddy.
There he is.
Oh, there he is.
Say hi, buddy.
Hi, buddy.
Oh, he's gonna give me his paw now. But yeah, we are involved in a lot of different things on campus. One of the biggest things that I do on campus is our multicultural and international club, where I get to work with not sometimes people with disabilities, but sometimes just different cultures, different places, different backgrounds, which is a lot of fun. I'm currently studying human resource management and business administration management here. Kane loves it. Kane loves all the people. He's very good at his job. He is very, very helpful. Otherwise, I wouldn't get to class. We would never be on time anywhere. We're still not on time sometimes because he likes to stop and see people, but that's what dogs are for. But yeah, we're just kind of on campus a lot. He knows his routes. He kind of gets patterned in his routes of, he knows on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we have an 8 a.m. and we're going to the 8 a.m. and we're not stopping for anything. And then he knows once we get to class, like, all right, we're here, we're good. I can take my 45-minute nap, snore during class, and we'll get up again and go. So he's very good, very, very calm, and we love having him on campus. Everyone loves seeing him on campus.
Kayla, can you tell everyone a little bit about the process of getting Kane and some of the things that you did when you went to Leader Dog? Because it led to more than just getting your seeing eye dog who helps you get around. It led to your occupation right now.
Yes. So when I attended camp in 2017, they had what was called Dog Day, everyone's favorite day. You got to work with seeing eye dog for the day. And it was basically a time for you to learn, like, is this a good option for me right now, or should I wait a few years? When I finished camp, the counselors there had recommended that I start looking into possibly getting a dog. So of course I went home, I talked about it a little bit, how to get everything pretty much approved. So I needed to prove that my eye condition, I had less than 2200 vision or less than a certain percentage of peripheral vision, which deems you legally blind, and that I was medically healthy. I actually had to have someone from the Leader Dog come out to my home to assess my home to see if it was safe for a dog to live in. I remember they were like looking at everything in the backyard, like literally all whole 9 yards of your house to make sure that it's safe and livable for a dog to come in and live with you. And then they do something that's called a harness test. So service dogs, seeing eye dogs wear a harness, which helps guide the human that they're working with. So you did what was called a Juno walk, which is just the instructor in the harness. There's no dog involved. Basically for them to gauge your personality, your height, how fast you walk, what kind of speed do you like use crossing a street, how slow are you crossing a street, and they take all of that information back with them to use it to pair you with the best dog match possible. So a lot of that went into Kane. Kane is a very mellow dog. He knows my pace. He knows how to get to and from where we need to be. I obviously have to give him directions on where we're going, but he kind of gets the idea, like, oh, this is the building or this is where we're going. But a lot of the process is just about you, and it's more like a personality test than it is really the formality, because once you have the formality done of that you can prove everything, it's just, here we are, we're good. And like, what's the best dog for you? Because every training class, there's about 35 dogs that are ready. So they are picking from this class or the next one coming up, which dog is going to be with you for the next 10 to 15 years.
So Kayla, once they established that Kane was the dog for you, you got Kane, you came home and did some work with Kane. But while you were there are some other things that transpired while you were out there. So tell us a little bit about some of the other opportunities that you had that also have led to some great things for you for right now.
Yeah, so while I was out there, I had worked with his specific trainer that was working with him. She trained me on Kane pretty much. And in the talks of us just being there, a lot of it talked about my school, my degree, what was I going for? And I was really interested in having an internship possibly that following summer. And I had asked my trainer, like, oh, do they ever do like internships here? I wasn't really in the HR field at that point. So I was just thinking like general customer service or like just something to get into a business and see, maybe this is what I want for me. So not too long after I returned home, I got a call from Kevin O'Callahan, who is the head of HR at Leader Dog. He had reached out to me and said, hey, like, we can put a program together for you. Would you want to come out for 4 or 5 weeks this summer and work in our HR, work in our customer service, work in different departments here to figure out what niche you like or what you want to eventually pursue. So I had went out there, and during that time, they were just starting a partnership with AAA, the Auto Club Group. The person who is a main contributor for that is Megan Williams, and she was working with Kevin to put this program together. So I was there during my internship. They had asked if I wanted to intern at AAA for a few days a week while I was out there. And I was like, of course, like I want to get my feet wet in anything, like just kind of see what's out there. And for them, for AAA, it was a very big learning process because they don't have a lot of employees right now with disabilities, and it's kind of a new world into people with visual impairments or blindness. So after going out there and doing all my internships, I've kept a really great connection with Megan and the company as a whole. And when I returned back during the semester, they had reached out and asked if I wanted to work part-time for them. So now I currently work part-time while I'm at school and full-time when I'm at home, and I work in their human resources department. I'm a talent acquisition coordinator. So I basically screen candidates, hire them, go through their background checks, place their background checks, make them an offer letter, the whole 9 yards before getting a job, processing into being on the job and for training. So kind of a lot happened.
In front of these young teenagers in high school and also freshmen in college, because that's the motivation. I mean, you're in school, you already have a job. I mean, that's the goal of college. And I always tell my students that, you're here of course, for an education, but you want to get a job. You want to get something that you could love and afford your bills with. So you should really do some talks inside schools, because I think some of these kids would definitely benefit from that.
Yes, and thankfully for Leader Dog, they have a program where they do speeches mainly to Lions clubs about Leader Dog and stuff like that. So Kane and I are involved there. We do go every once in a while and speak to some different Lions clubs. But like to your point, yeah, I do it a lot on campus, just individually with people, because people are always so interested in Kane, in the organization. Like, what does he do? Because someone sees a dog and they're like, oh my God, a dog. Why is there a dog here? And they want to know all about it. So it's definitely personally a great speaking point and definitely a great conversation starter.
And Kayla, we mentioned that, or you mentioned that you're graduating in December. And I think that's absolutely wonderful, because this is a young woman who did a dual enrollment in high school, having all these vision issues, and pushed herself to overcome all those issues. And she's graduating from college early. So I think that is pretty amazing in and of itself. So Kayla, we had talked, when we were talking, I said to you, what is the one thing that you want, what message do you want people to hear from you? So what is something that you want people to know?
My biggest motto, my biggest thing I say in almost any talk I do is, when you see someone that may have a disability, see the ability and not the disability, because usually someone who has a disability is so much more capable of doing things than what you actually think they might be able to do. So don't discredit them. Just give them a chance to do something that they might love.
I love that message. Beautiful message. We enjoyed having you on the show. The half hour always goes so quickly, but definitely keep in touch with us, and keep in touch with what you're doing after graduation as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, I've enjoyed meeting you also, and I'm sure you're an inspiration to your brother who's coming up behind you with this, and everyone who's watching out there. Anyone who does have any type of eye disability or whatever, I guess, could reach out to you as well, Lori, if they don't know about community services for sight. If you're watching from another state, of course, you could reach out to those in the area. But Kayla, you definitely are an inspiration. Thank you so much. You have more vision than people who I know who have perfect vision.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, honey.